Listen, if you ever see an ad that says something like wanted, babysitter for one night, quiet baby, easy job, $300 cash, don't take it. Trust me. I wish someone had told me that before I found myself in the worst night of my life. So there I was, desperate for cash, thinking I'd hit the jackpot. A few hours watching some kid while he slept. Easiest money ever. The drive to the house should have been my first warning. It was way out in the middle of nowhere, nothing but trees and darkness on both sides of the road. When I pulled up, the place looked straight out of a horror movie. Big, old, Victorian style and practically radiating bad vibes. No neighbors, no streetlights, just silence. I got out of my car, and I swear the air felt heavier. But I told myself I was just being paranoid and knocked on the door. Before I could even knock properly, it creaked open on its own. That should have been my second warning. A tall man was standing there, half in the shadows. "You must be Emily," he said, his voice slow and measured. I nodded. "Yeah, here for the babysitting job." He stepped aside, letting me in. The house smelled like dust and something metallic. A grand chandelier flickered above me, barely giving enough light to see. Then I saw her, a woman in a long dress, gliding down the staircase like she wasn't even touching the steps. "You'll be watching our son, Oliver," she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "He's already asleep upstairs. Make yourself at home." I should have left right then and there. Something about the way she moved, the way she looked at me, sent a shiver down my spine. But $300 was $300. So I forced a smile and nodded. In the living room, an older boy sat in an antique chair, just staring at me. He didn't blink. "That's Henry, our eldest," the mother said, like that explained anything. I tried to break the weird tension. "Hey there, Henry. You don't talk much, do you?" He smirked. "You shouldn't have come." My stomach dropped. "What? They like new visitors," he said flatly, "especially ones that stay the night." I laughed nervously, pretending it was some creepy joke, but I was already feeling uneasy. I decided to just focus on my job and went upstairs to check on Oliver. His room was at the end of a long hallway. The closer I got, the heavier the air felt, like I was walking underwater. I pushed the door open and immediately felt something was wrong. The crib stood against the wall, rocking slightly. There was no draft. I stepped closer, expecting to see a sleeping baby inside. The crib was empty. My breath hitched. Before I could react, the door behind me slammed shut. Heart pounding, I rushed to it, twisting the knob. It was locked. Then I heard it. A whisper, right against my ear. "You shouldn't be here." I spun around. Nobody was there, just shadows stretching unnaturally across the walls. The baby monitor on the dresser crackled to life. Heavy breathing came through the speaker, followed by a voice, distorted and inhuman. "We see you." I stumbled back, my mind racing. This isn't real. This is a prank. The rocking chair in the corner creaked forward, then back, then forward again. A guttural laugh rose from the crib, but it was still empty. I banged on the door, screaming, "Let me out!" Footsteps echoed outside. The lock clicked and the door swung open. Henry stood there, watching me with that same smirk. "You should leave now," he said softly. I didn't wait. I bolted past him, down the stairs, straight for the front door, but just as I reached for the handle, the father appeared, blocking my path. "You're not leaving," he said, his voice darker, heavier. Behind him, the mother and Henry stood still, their eyes glowing a sickly yellow. I whirled around, looking for another way out. The windows were all barred. The walls seemed to shift, like the house itself was alive. Then I heard it again. The whisper, this time coming from everywhere. "Stay with us. Forever." Something cold wrapped around my wrist. I screamed, yanking myself free and sprinting toward the kitchen. There had to be a back door. The paintings on the walls twisted as I ran past them. Their eyes moved. Dark figures lurked in the corners of my vision. I found the back door and wrenched it open. The air outside felt thick, like I was pushing through molasses, but I forced myself forward, running toward my car. As I fumbled for my keys, the porch light flickered out. The family stood in the doorway, just watching. I finally got the car started. The second the engine roared to life, I floored it, peeling out of there as fast as I could. I didn't stop until I reached town. Gasping for breath, I grabbed my phone and called the police. "There's a family. They tried to kill me. 316 Willow Lane," I stammered. The dispatcher's response sent a chill through my bones. "Ma'am, there's no house at that address. 316 Willow Lane has been abandoned for over 50 years. My blood ran cold. "No, that's impossible. I was just there." The officer on the other end hesitated. "Stay where you are. We'll send someone to check it out." I waited, shaking. When the officers arrived, they found nothing but an overgrown lot, the remains of a burned-down house long covered in weeds and decay. No furniture, no people, no Oliver, no Henry. I stared at the empty land, my mind screaming in protest. I had been there. I had seen them, felt their hands on me, and as I turned away just for a second, I could have sworn I heard the whisper again. "See you soon."